My fingerprint has changed. Okay. Every day I learn something new. Today I realized if I right-click on desktop, I can easily hide all the icons. I didn't know it before. It's not as clean as you see. There are several icons. Okay, let me see. Okay, if I have time at the end, I'll get back to this tiny device. So, first of all, sorry for my voice. If it was last week, I lost my voice, and still I'm somehow sick with fever. But I didn't want to miss today's session because of brilliant guys from MikroTik who arranged this meeting, and Hani who really spent quite a lot of time to arrange this user meeting. Uh, Please ask in the middle of the session if you have any question. The presentation is going to be somehow fun. I hope so. One important thing which I would like to say is some legal notice. Whatever I'm telling you here, if you want to use those techniques, please be considered and check all the terms and conditions with the service provider. They might not be allowed, but there are some applications and legitimate applications. The only reason I'm presenting this application and this material in this way is to make it more fun for you guys. It's afternoon, after lunch, after good lunch, so okay. And one more thing which I would like you guys, are you connected to wireless network? No? Do you have LTE network? Okay, so if you don't mind, go to Slido, sly.do, and enter this K569 event ID, if you don't mind. Did you get there? No, for sure not. It's kind of engagement. Just want to be. I want to be sure you are awake. There should be a poll, say, were you able to join Slido or not? 5%, okay. 7, 10, 15, 17. How many in the room? Much more, 22, 23. Yeah, only 23, so rest seems not interested. 25. Okay, 25, 27, still good. Okay, and who I am, 30. My name is Payam. Pa like pal, and yum like yummy tasty, not yum like potato. I prefer to be tasty rather than potato, but that's the way my name is written everywhere. My background is in computer engineering and industrial engineering, which in the country I'm coming from, this major in university focus on optimization in industry and systems and everything. So combining those together give me some ability to consider systems as a whole and improve on different aspects utilizing the tools I've learned in computer, in IT, network. And by the way, I believe majority of people are immigrants like me in Canada. Are you immigrant? Any immigrant? No? No immigrants. A few over there. By the way, that's my feeling in Canada. I used to live in Netherlands a few years ago. The way here, I never felt that anybody claims here is their own country. Everybody by first or their second generation is somehow an immigrant, which gives a great opportunity for developing different things from different backgrounds. I'm based in Vancouver, and if you want to find me in the MikroTik trainers list and consultants site, you can find me. Usually, in Canada, there are 4 of us, sometimes 5 of us, and in consultants, And there are not quite a lot, still you can find me. Sorry for that. Uh, the session objective is connect to a wireless network and feed local clients over copper and wireless. A weird topic, but that's not the topic. That's about, so what I would like to show you guys is something fascinating about MikroTik, and I would like to show you how in an innovative way you can use the feature this device can give you. And by the way, I would like to start another polls, and that's a question which asks, is it possible for a wireless network interface to act as an IP and client simultaneously? Can you answer? It's in your previous poll. I'm going to, yes, 3% yes. Only 3 participants so far. Is it possible to have access point? So you have only one network interface, one wireless network. This wireless network be an access point and connect also to another access point. Is that doable? What a weird question. No. One usage at a time. Yes. And no one said, okay. Let's jump to the sub-objective, which was what I told you guys. And why this is important, I'll give you a few examples. Assume assume you have a device which doesn't have any wireless net interface, and you want to have it connected to a wireless node. So you need to have something connected that sit in between and connect it to the main upstream provider. Assume you have your Chromecast. You are sitting in a hotel. You want to have your Chromecast connected to the network, but on the same time, you can't have Chromecast to log in at that captive portal. Do you know how to do that? It's very difficult. Or there's another funny scenario, which you are sitting in an aircraft. You have paid quite a lot for internet on board. Yesterday I checked it. It was $34 for Air Canada from Vancouver to for whole flights. And you can only use one single device. And sometimes you want to use your laptop, sometimes you want to use your iPhone, your Android. So you are limited. If you want to use all of them, you have to pay, 34, and that's quite a lot. So that's some scenarios which this could help. So the very basic solution could be something like that. Have 2 devices, make one of them access point, the other one a station. Have this one connected to the whatever upstream provider, and you connect to this one. Very simple solution. It's very doable. You guys probably know how to configure that. It's very simple, easy, straightforward, but it needs 2 devices, it needs cables. It's not very portable. There's another solution, and I should say that this presentation was first created in 2016, which at that time there wasn't any dual chain or multiple chain MikroTik devices. There was some boards which capable to have PCMCI network interface devices. So some companies made something like this for MikroTik. They were quite expensive, $400, and it was quite big. It was professional solution. And but nowadays we have simple devices like HAP AC Lite, which has good price, and HAP AC, which is quite a lot expensive. But the issue with these devices is still they utilize 2 different bands, 2.4, 5.8. If you are in a network which upstream is 2.4, and your client also need to be on 2.4, this device also would not work. And the magic, something like this, or any devices from MikroTik. From version 6.35, a new wireless package introduced, which was wireless rep, and it means wireless repeater. And nowadays it has been incorporated into main wireless package. And that repeater functionality give you the option with the virtual access point to have access point and station simultaneously on a single network interface, which is weird. So you have one double wireless LAN, you connect it to upstream, and at the same time you create an access point on that and you have your other devices connected to it. And that could be something like that. Usually you can find some power. If the power is not like there, you can use one of the power bank. It's not expensive. That's for demo. It was not used. Yesterday I went over all the terms and conditions of GoGo Air. They tried in a way to say it's not allowed. So be sure what you are doing. These are alternative boards you can use. Hap-Lite Classic. These are the boards which you can use USB plug to power them up. But any other router board could work. Good to have accessories or power bank, definitely. A small network cable and USB cable, and these tiny retractable network cables. You guys, do you know Prime cables? Prime cables, that's it. They are good online retail store. They have different domains. From Inc. I'm not from them. I just use their products. I'm very happy. Just wanted to introduce them to you guys. And the other stuff, you can easily find them there or on AliExpress or dx.com. Those are places which usually ship to Canada even free of charge. So let's dig a little into the configuration, which is not very difficult. That's the MikroTik. So that's the physical interface. I'll let you later why I choose in this way. I put the name access point here, mode AP bridge, and put a name, set the security information, whatever I need, create a DHCP server. And one important thing is that this MikroTik should play the role of DNS server as well. So whenever I want to connect my client, I connect through this way. And then I create a virtual device, virtual wireless, virtual WLAN actually, and put the master interface on this one and set it on a station mode. And you guys for sure know what's different between a station mode, station bridge, station pseudo bridge, and whatever we have. And usually DHCP client, because when you want to connect to upstream network, you usually receive IP through the DHCP, and for sure source NAT or mask curating and other stuff which you need. And that's as easy as I told you. Always use the latest version. You guys know better than me, and MikroTik provides versions quite frequent. I always change these numbers. And what else I have to say here? Almost I've went over all of them. When you put the SSID, then you can connect to your device. There is one important thing and good things, which is, have you guys seen MikroTik apps for iOS and Android? Have you used that? And who has used that? Okay, those who have not used that, please use that. It's a very convenient app. It helps a lot, and even in such cases. So in such cases, you don't need to pull out your laptop. You can just open your mobile, open the app, go over the configuration, and configure the whole router. It's good to have a wireless analyzer in such situation because sometimes you need to find what channel you are, what are the frequency of the upstream, because you need to set that. Usually you can use the MikroTik with the background scan feature if your device supports that. Otherwise, it's better to have some analyzer on your phone or on your laptop. It would be great if you have a few network tools on your mobile to check the connectivity. It's not, that's not a solution for, you know, yesterday graduated student. It's for someone who knows network. So probably you get some trouble. You need to do some ping traces and see what's wrong. And from here, because the slides are going to be posted on the website, these are steps just for those who really want to do stuff step by step. The only thing which I would like to mention is that the DNS, it's a little tricky here. I would like to explain why it's important. When you set up this device, first you connect to the device. Still, you don't know who is the upstream provider. So you need to receive a DNS server. What should be that DNS server? Almost there isn't any DNS server because there isn't any connectivity. So it's better to set the router itself as the DNS. So whenever the router itself connects to upstream and receives the DNS server from there, the DNS server there feeds the local DNS server, and that local DNS server feeds the client. Otherwise, you would get struggle. You need to find what's the upstream DNS server, put it on your client. You need to do some back and forth. But by the way, as in one of the previous, the first, I think the security presentation has, in that presentation has been said, whenever you turn on your Allo remote request, be sure to limit all incoming DNS queries from the upstream. Otherwise, there's a chance to get attacked. The DHCP server should not be a tough thing. Let me see if there's anything missed here. Verify your configuration, and one of the things which not recently, but it wasn't there a few years ago, the background scan. The background scan means while you're connected to the router, you can scan using that interface without getting disconnected. So it tried to, in a way, stop and start the scan without having you disconnected. And then have your system connected to your upstream. And there you go, that's as easy as possible. And don't forget the NAT. There is one other tricky point which I mentioned, and that's we have physical interface and virtual interface. Which one should connect to the upstream? Any idea? Physical? Why? Let me explain in this way. First, you need to connect to the router. And assume you don't have network cable. So you need to connect. And if you want to connect to the router using over the wireless, the access point needs to be on a channel and stay there stable. If the physical interface is the one which is trying to connect to upstream, and at that time it doesn't know where to connect, it tries to hop over different frequencies, so it never gets stable, and you never can connect to that device. That's another point. If you can connect that, it would work, but from the point it disconnected from the upstream, it hop over different frequencies, and then from that point you can't connect to the wireless, because that's the important point. The virtual wireless interface operates on the same exact frequency of the master interface. It doesn't operate on a different frequency. That's the trick. You can do it in a different way. It would work. In case you can, in a way you can connect your physical interface to the upstream and make it stable. And that's the case if you know the configuration ahead of time. You can do funny things, but don't do that. You can resell, if you're in the aircraft, you can resell uh, your internet. Yeah, it could be doable, but according to terms and conditions, it was not allowed. Or maybe you can put some names there and say, hey, come to me, chat with me. And let me see the time. We have quite a lot of time, yeah, this time. And let me, sorry for that. And this tiny, this tiny device which I explained, which can work in this way, like what I told you. You can install it. You can also even connect it through the network cable. You don't need to go through that difficult configuration. You just can connect the upstream wireless to that. This tiny device can play the role of almost a firewall. You can put your VPNs there. So as soon as you have it connected, it can VPN to, to your VPN server, whatever network you have, and protect your your connections from those who are on the same insecure wireless network, which usually we are connected to. But this tiny device has another feature. Have you guys tried to open your list of wireless network? Can you open that? Search what wireless networks what SSIDs you can see. Just take a look. What are the first three? Yeah. Yeah, this tiny device can play the role of advertisement. Just put it in your, thank you very much, thank you. Thank you. This tiny, this is map light and we have map 2ND. Probably you have seen both of them, but this one can turn on with a very tiny power bank. You can do many funny stuff like this, and you can have it with yourself. And the trick is have some special character in front of the name to be sure that your name would be show up on the top of the list. That's almost what I wanted to explain to see how crazy stuff can be done with MikroTik. Before this, I never knew it's even possible with a network interface, Wi-Fi based network interface, to have simultaneously AP and station application. And if I knew, probably it was not as simple as how it is nowadays on MikroTik. These tiny devices make the life pretty easy, at least for me, as someone who comes from Linux background. And I believe you guys would enjoy that. Any question? What is that? What's that? What is that? This one? Map Lite, M-A-P Lite. The tiniest. I remember there's a version larger than, which is Map 2ND, which has two Ethernet port, and that has quite good application. I have quite good application for that. For example, where you need to troubleshoot a network and you need to packet capture, you can easily bridge those two Ethernet together, put it in the middle of the line, and connect your laptop through wireless to that, and start sniffing the packets and see what's going on, what's wrong with that. Yep. So these solutions, you can do it for sure with even CCR. That's doable. But if you need to have a Swiss knife army, Swiss Army knife in your pocket, that's what you need. Yeah. Any question? Thank you. Sorry for my voice. Sorry, and thank you for the time.